I know the feeling. You see a cheap countertop slicer on a clearance shelf, think you're getting a bargain, and then a week later you're wrestling with uneven slices and a blade that dulls after the first batch of turkey. The regret sets in fast, especially when you're trying to run a small deli, prep meals for a family, or even just want consistent slices for a weekend sandwich spread. So the question is, does the Omcan 23544 commercial medium-duty Italian 14-inch slicer feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another budget trap? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started looking at slicers, I kept circling back to three concerns: durability when you run it daily, how easy it is to clean after slicing raw meat versus veggies, and whether the price truly reflects the performance you need for a medium-sized operation. The Omcan model lands in the middle of the commercial-grade crowd, promising an anodized aluminum alloy body and high-carbon steel blades, which already sounds promising compared to the thin plastic housings you find on the $70 models. But the real test is how it behaves once you plug it in and start feeding it through a batch of pastrami or a stack of mozzarella. First off, the belt-driven mechanism. Most entry-level slicers are gear-driven, which can produce a bit of vibration and occasional chatter as the motor fights the resistance of denser foods. The Omcan uses a belt, and in my hands that translates to a smoother, quieter cut. When I sliced a thick slab of roast beef for a sandwich board, the blade glided without the jerky start-stop you sometimes feel on cheaper units. The consistency was noticeable. Each slice came out about the same thickness, which is crucial if you're pricing portions or just don't want one slice 10 times thicker than the next. Now, think about a real-world kitchen scenario. You're prepping a mixed platter for a catered event. You need to move quickly between cured meats, fresh cucumber, and a few slices of provolone. The Omcan's 14-inch blade gives you enough length to handle a whole roast, yet the machine's footprint stays manageable on a standard prep counter. Switching from meat to vegetables didn't require a deep clean. A quick brush off the carriage and a wipe of the blade with a damp cloth kept cross-contamination low. The anodized aluminum body resists the little scratches and spills that happen when you're juggling trays, and the high-carbon steel stays sharp longer than the stainless blades you see on the cheapest models. That said, there are practical limits. The machine is marketed as medium-duty, and the 1-year part sand labor warranty backs that up. If you're planning to run it 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, the motor may start to feel warm after a few continuous slices. It's not a failure point, but you'll notice the motor humming louder and you'll need to give it short breaks to avoid overheating. For a small deli that does a few dozen slices per day, that's fine. For a high-volume bakery that needs to slice dozens of loaves per hour, you'd probably look at a heavier-duty unit with a larger motor. Who should consider buying this slicer? If you run a neighborhood sandwich shop, a catering business that needs to prep a few hundred slices a week, or a home kitchen where you love making charcuterie boards and want reliable, repeatable results, the Omcan hits the sweet spot. Its price sits comfortably below the high-end commercial models, yet it doesn't skimp on the essentials that keep cuts uniform and the machine stable. The belt drive and the solid metal body give you confidence that the unit will survive a few months of regular use without the frustration of blade replacements every other week. Who should skip it? If you're a full-scale butcher shop slicing pounds of meat every shift, or a large restaurant kitchen where the slicer is on for 12-hour shifts, you'll likely outgrow the 14-inch, medium-duty design. Also, if you're looking for a unit that comes with a built-in sharpening system or an automatic safety guard, that's not part of this package. The Omcan is straightforward. You get a blade, you get a motor, you get a safety switch. It works, but it doesn't have the extra bells and whistles that some premium models advertise. Let's talk about a couple of everyday pain points that often get glossed over in product copy. One is the ease of adjusting slice thickness. The knob on the Omcan turns smoothly and locks into place, allowing you to dial in anything from paper-thin deli slices to half-inch cuts for roast beef. I found it intuitive enough that I didn't need to read a manual every time I changed the setting. Just a quick test slice, and you're set. Another point is the cleaning routine. The carriage slides out, the blade can be lifted for a quick rinse, and the belt drive is sealed well enough that you don't have to worry about grease seeping into the motor housing. That means less downtime between batches, which is a real value add.